Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah. Y'all ready to play some football? Just big D. Say let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. I'm about to break this thing up.
Alright, you guys ready?
If you want it, you can get
Alright.
it. Let me know.
Hey guys, welcome to Beyond the Hashes podcast, where three dudes talk about football. I'm Ryan.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Tim.
Today's episodes will include Saturday's primetime matchup, a recap of Sunday's games, playoff predictions, and more. First topic we're going to talk about is the Browns versus the Broncos on Saturday night. This is my question for the Browns side of the ball, is does Baker Mayfield and this team have what it takes to take this team to the playoff and play with top caliber teams? I think that they do because of how they've been playing as of late. Like, against the Texans, it wasn't too bad. I mean, second half. Well, yeah, in the second half he did well. So I think that he can compete with them. It's just that he has a little bit of. Well, he's new, so you know he's gonna be a little gun shy at first. Garrett, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think Baker Mayfield could definitely turn that team around. I mean, he did. The moment that Hugh Jackson was fired, it looked like a totally different Browns offense out there. And I don't see. I mean, I could definitely see them not making it only because they started so slow, and they have to have a lot happen. Like almost every other AFC team lose out in order for them to get in. So the likelihood of them getting in is pretty slim. Future years, they look really bright now. So I'd be interested to see what coach comes in and takes over for them.
I mean, they're not in the driver's seat of getting
No,
into the playoffs. I mean, they could win against the Bengals and Ravens, but that doesn't mean they're going to make it in.
no.
Any
Yeah,
other
they
team
can go
could lose.
8-7-1
Oh, yeah.
and
They
nothing.
took a big hit with the Steelers this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Pittsburgh losing out would have really helped them.
I really didn't know who I wanted to win that game, to be honest.
Says the biggest Tom Brady hater in the world.
I know, but I want the Browns
No,
to go to the
this
playoffs.
is where it starts. No,
I want the Browns to go to the playoffs, and
they probably won't.
it's
if we're
not
being
going to
honest.
happen. It's not going to happen. I'm just saying, can they play with people who are in the playoffs this year? Because no doubt that next year, if they start out fresh, without Hugh Jackson tainting that team, they're definitely a playoff caliber team. But can they play with the likes of those teams? That's the question.
The only chance they have to make it is winning the AFC or AFC North. You know, they're not going to get them to the wild card, and they're down 2 games on the Steelers and Ravens, so it's not looking good.
Yeah. Well, either way, this is one of Baker's more underperforming games of the season. He threw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and had 188 yards and 31 attempts. Not stellar, but he got the job done in key plays. Nick Chubb, I think he carried the load for this offense. He had another 100-yard rushing game. No receivers really stood out, not even Landry, unfortunately.
But is that a bad thing? Because you have Baker throwing it around, and he has 6 different receivers with at least 30 yards.
Yeah, it was good team play.
Johnson with 25. Yeah, he spreads the ball, and you can't knock a guy who spreads the ball around.
Yeah, I like that. That's how you win games.
Yeah, which is what they did. So on the other side of the ball, though, defensive-wise or Broncos offensive-wise, Cleveland basically shut down Phillip Lindsay, and I feel like that was the game changer. Yeah.
Man, he had 24 yards.
I agree. I have that here on my notes.
He did have 24 yards. Yeah, on 14 carries.
Yeah. That was the main thing that set this game apart.
Nah, I think the main thing that set it apart were 2 coaching disasters. Why would Vance Joseph go for a field goal there in the fourth quarter at the end of the game instead of going for it on 4th down?
That's a good question.
You're not going up by taking the field goal. You're still down by 1, even if you make it, which they did. So why do that? Why not go for it? I think history is starting to show now that teams that go for it are the teams that win. You know, you saw on Thursday night.
Well, I mean, I can't really blame the Broncos for wanting to go with that path because the fact that they are a defense-heavy team, it's not like they shine on offense. So, yeah, maybe you want to put your defense out on the field because those are the guys that are going to be the game changers for you. But I don't like the fact of putting your defense in charge of the game at all for any team, regardless of how good they are.
Well, how much do you trust an offense as led by Case Keenum, with no
enough
receiver.
to get a few
No
yards on
receiver.
fourth down.
If at any point Tim Patrick is your best receiver, you know you're fucked. So you might as well just put your defense out there. Because what does it matter on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, either
Because
way,
you can put the game away. You know, when you're on offense, you are the one who controls it. You know, on defense, it's a lot less to that extent. You're not controlling the game. You're just reacting to the offense.
But they could have put the game away quicker if they didn't make the fourth down as well.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, it doesn't matter because they didn't take the lead.
Yeah, they did. They didn't
the
do
field
anything.
goal anyway. It just brought them down by one. Which what does that do? It does nothing.
Prolong their agony.
Yeah.
Well, either way, now they're out of the postseason. So what do you think is next for this Broncos team?
A quarterback.
Yeah, what positions do you guys think that they need to rebuild? Quarterback for sure. I agree with that.
I think Tim's made it clear by saying quarterback.
I mean,
Maybe
I don't
guy.
think that they need to replace Case Keenum like immediately, but like I think that they should look forward to it, like not this year, but maybe next year.
I think that they should look for like another threat, like outside of Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh yeah.
Like they need another receiver. Like they had both their tight ends go down this year, but like outside of like really Emmanuel Sanders, there's like nothing to throw the ball to. I mean, you can't toss it to Philip Lindsay. Like it doesn't work for the Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers with McCaffrey. Like, you see, this shit doesn't work passing the running backs all game.
You need a better quarterback.
Good receivers.
I mean, that's what they need.
Yeah.
You need,
I don't think it's like an immediate decision though. I think he needs one more year of working with that team yet to prove that he can
know what
do
Case
well.
Keenum is though.
But I would argue that he was better on the Vikings. He fit that scheme better.
Of course he was better
because he has Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen.
Yeah, he needs a deep threat.
Yeah, he needs somebody besides just Emmanuel Sanders. That's what he needs.
Well, one side they don't have to work on is that defensive line. Bradley Chubb, 12.5 sacks already this year.
It's pretty good.
As good as Denzel Ward has been, I don't know why the Browns wouldn't take Chubb, who a lot of people thought to be just the best overall player in the draft. Of course, you know, you take quarterbacks because you need quarterbacks, but, you know, just as a player, he was one of the top guys in that draft, and they didn't take him with the 4th pick.
Yeah, I don't think they're really like regretting it or anything. I feel like they're good with what they have with Ward.
No, but when you have Myles Garrett on one side and you're able to have Bradley Chubb on the other,
I feel like they were confident enough with Myles Garrett to where they felt like they didn't need Chubb.
If anything, in defense, they need to bolster their safeties and their cornerbacks.
Who, Denver or
Denver, yeah. Okay,
well, yeah. I mean, you got your 2 defensive ends combining for, 26 sacks this year or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. They just need to work on their secondary a little bit.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
It's not like a huge thing for them.
They're not in complete rebuild mode. They're just in they need a couple more tools, and then Denver can be a quarterback threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to bring Peyton Manning back.
What about Nick Foles?
Ooh, that's a good pick for the Broncos right there. They should try to slide in on that. I think that would be a good fit for them.
Would he though? Because I feel like he's that guy that you don't want as your starter, but you're really fucking proud to have him as your backup.
We don't got to talk about Nick Foles yet. We'll get to him a little bit later.
I do like that. I do like that idea though. I could see him playing with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty good fit for that team, I think. But anyways, what about the Browns? What do you guys think that they need to improve on the off season?
Defense.
Keep doing what you're doing.
They're maybe like a number 1 receiver, like outside of Landry.
Yeah, Landry's not a number 1. I mean, he is playing number 1, but I don't.
No, they need another number. They need another good receiver. They need a number 2 receiver. I think Landry's a perfect number 1.
They have Callaway, and Callaway's like a speedy guy. He's a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he doesn't look like spectacular though.
Higgins is decent. Perryman, no. Njoku, he's a pretty good tight end. Not top tier by any means. They got a really good run game in Nick Chubb. They got the future quarterback, Baker Mayfield. And then Jarvis Landry is a good receiver. I don't think they need to work on that side so much as like defense.
I think one thing that they can improve on maybe on their offense is maybe get like a pass back.
I mean, that's why they have Duke Johnson.
Yeah, but he's like, I don't like him.
There's a couple of receivers that are going to be free agents this offseason. Randall Cobb, Dante Moncrief, Golden Tate, Jermaine Kearse, Cordero Patterson, Mike Wells. There's just a few, but what about any of those guys?
Oh my God. Okay, now that you brought up the Randall Cobb thing, so imagine this. Imagine Mike McCarthy goes to the Browns, picks up Randall
No.
Cobb. Yeah, but this is what's gonna happen.
No,
This
it
is what
won't.
happened. He goes to the Browns, picks up Cobb. I think that's a good fit for Baker.
no.
With Cobb?
Why would you get Cobb when you could get the younger version of him in who's the other guy that he listed? Who was the other one? Cobb and Golden Tate.
Golden
I don't
Tate.
think Golden Tate's
Golden
better
Tate
than-
is older than Randall Cobb.
Yeah,
Is he?
Golden Tate's 31
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What the fuck?
Dude, Golden Tate's been in the league for a long time.
and makes half as much money. So
Yeah, but he's not as good either. He's really
Well,
not.
he's not injury prone.
This is the thing. You imagine this, okay? So you have Randall Cobb, who's already proven good, number 2, but say Landry's your deep threat there, and then you have Randall Cobb come in on like a
but Landry's not
flat
really
rat.
a deep threat.
No, he's just like the safe mitts that you want across the middle or on the outside.
I don't know. He gets pretty deep
Got
sometimes.
them tight mitts.
Sometimes
He can burn the defense.
he can, but it's not like, oh man, look out, Landry's on the field, get ready.
I don't know.
Like,
I like
he
him as a
can
number 1
kill.
receiver. I think he's a good number 1 receiver on this team.
Yeah, Baker makes him look good.
Well, either
Alright,
way,
we got anything else?
they need the head coach. I think what they need to do is put some more protection around Baker in the front. He's getting a lot of pressure.
He's dealing with it well.
Yeah, he
He
is.
deals with it well, but still, you want to protect your quarterback. You don't want to be having him rushing out and taking big hits and stuff like that. He's young. He needs to be protected.
He's mobile enough though to where he can save himself from those big hits. Like I think they're okay with that. I think while you're talking about quarterbacks though, I think you should move on to the Vikings and Dolphins and talk about that quarterback situation on both sides of the ball.
Well, hold on a second. Next we got their predictions for next week. So the Browns play the Bengals. Who do you guys think's winning that game, and what's the score? Gary first.
Browns by 1 billion.
Yeah. It'd be like Browns 36, Bengals 17.
Ooh. All right, Tim. How about you?
I said Browns by a
Oh, let's
billion.
go like I think they'll put up at least 30. Let's go 30 12. Bengals
Wow,
suck.
you guys
30.
You guys ballparked right around where my prediction was. My prediction is Browns versus Bengals. Browns win it 30-17.
Wow.
That's pretty close for all of us. Anyways,
What'll end up happening is the Bengals will win 46-3.
yeah. Hugh Jackson's defense gonna have like 4 pick sixes.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about the Broncos versus the Raiders?
Does that game really even matter at this point?
It
I feel like-
doesn't, but we're talking about predictions.
Two
here.
teams out of the playoffs. Broncos win because they're better.
I say Raiders win in an upset, like 21-14.
Tim, you said Broncos what?
Man, how am I even gonna think about this game? I don't know. 20-10.
20-10.
Broncos or Raiders?
Broncos.
I literally don't care about that game at all. Like, the
Okay,
game's-
well, my prediction is Broncos versus the Raiders. I think the Raiders they're actually playing pretty well now that they're out. I think that they win 24-23. Close
Okay.
game.
Real question
Whoa.
though. Does
Doesn't matter.
anybody?
We won't find out until the game's over because no one's
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
Yeah. Does anybody actually care about the game?
I
Like,
don't.
regardless of if you're a fan or not.
Well, either way. Anyways, we'll move on to a game that should have been excited, but it was a complete blowout. The Vikings
No,
versus
that was a
Dolphins.
Dolphins trick. Making
That was
me
fun.
think it would be good.
Well, I mean, they should have at least had a little bit of momentum coming off that win, but is this the change that the Vikings needed all along? Should they have fired their head coach a long time ago?
Offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
My fault. I'm thinking of other teams.
That's like a classic Tim.
No, that's my
Listen,
fault.
the
I have it on here. I just forgot.
This looked like a game that'd be exciting, but the Dolphins can't win on the road. They're now 1-6. I don't think that they ever had a chance. Ryan Tannehill sucks. The Dolphins are not good. The Vikings are just better, even though they're not very good.
But they looked really good because they actually balanced their offense. They ran heavy. Like Dalvin Cook had 19 carries, Latavius Murray had 15. And when you have Kirk Cousins only throwing the ball 21 times, like it's a good recipe for success.
So then
Yeah,
you guys
Kirk Cousins
both
put up
agree that the offensive coordinator needed to go then, right?
Yeah, they
What
needed
it
to completely
seems
switch
like-
their game plan.
Yeah. DeFilippo seemed like someone who just only wanted to concentrate or focus on passing the ball. And when you have Kirk Cousins, you can't have him pass the ball every time because he's not very good.
I think what he wanted was he's like, well, shit, I got Diggs and Thielen out there. Cousins can throw all fucking day. Forget about Cook. And
it was working there for a little bit.
It was, yeah, for a little bit. And then it crashed hard. And then they went back to the run game, and now they're looking good again.
I think is exactly what this team needed because it obviously showed in the first quarter when they scored the most points of any team this season in the first quarter, and a lot of that contributes to not trusting in Cousins so much because we know how he plays.
He put up a vintage Dak today.
He's very high risk and kind of low reward.
215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Does it get any closer to a Dak Prescott stat line than that?
Yeah, that's a Dak. That's a Dak.
Yeah, plus he had his running backs do really well.
Yeah.
Definitely a Dak performance. But
well,
I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks though. I want to see more from Dalvin Cook. He needs more touches, and that's exactly what happened in this game. And obviously that fucking worked.
Is Dalvin Cook, you think, back to vintage? Like, well, we didn't see like vintage. Like, you can't say it as if he's been like in a really league for a while. But like at the beginning of last year, he showed glimpses of like being one of the best like in the league right now. Do you think that he can still be one of the best?
I don't think so though. I mean, I think Dalvin Cook's a good back, but I don't think like he's not gonna be like Adrian Peterson or somebody like that. Like he'll be all right.
That's such a dumb comparison. You can't say, this guy's not going to be one of the best running backs ever. Like, that doesn't matter.
I'm thinking, I'm saying it.
Like, is he going to be a top 5 back? No.
Maybe.
I don't think he's a top 5 back in the league right now, and he won't be.
Maybe not right now, but I think with what they're doing now on offense, I think he definitely has the potential to be a top 5 back.
I don't know. There's too many other big names in there, like Zeke Elliott, Barkley, you got Gurley, Melvin Gordon, then you got Alvin Kamara. Like he doesn't outshine those guys, and there's no way he has the talent to beat those guys out.
But with a game like this, if he puts up numbers like even like somewhat close, like he's beyond anybody.
I'm not saying he's bad, but I just don't see him being.
Can we just be real? Like it was the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not good.
Yeah, the Dolphins have the 3rd worst rush defense.
Yeah, that's another point that I really don't believe that this is like, oh man, Dalvin Cook's out there now.
26 points a game. They're not a good defense, especially on the road. The Dolphins. I don't know this. I think that people give the Dolphins more credit because they have a half decent record, and they had that win last week against the Patriots. But they're not good. I wanted the Dolphins to win this game to help my team, obviously, but they weren't going to. They're 1-6 away.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody believes that the Dolphins are actually going to go to the playoffs.
No.
They could. Did after last week. They're Super Bowl bound.
Which team's quarterback situation is more bleak? Because I don't think that either of them have a good situation.
I think Cousins is definitely brighter than Tannehill.
I don't know. Well, the only reason why I would agree with that is only because of how injury prone Ryan Tannehill is. I think Ryan Tannehill is a better quarterback. But I think that he just can't stay healthy enough to go on the field and lead that team. Plus, he doesn't really have the targets that Kirk Cousins has right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the point. Like Cousins, I feel like those last couple of weeks where he was really struggling is because they put the full weight of the team on his shoulders.
Oh yeah.
And he's not
Which
meant
shows
to
that he's not that guy.
He's not meant to like fully hoist a team up on his back and carry. Like every like good quarterback needs like a good run game, and that's what they had right there. And it made him look like a good quarterback. Like it almost made him look like that money was worth it for once in that game.
I don't think he made it look like he was worth $84 million, but
No, he's not.
He looked like he was like worth maybe like 20.
Well, Ryan Tannehill under contract.
Not a year.
He's going to be a free agent in 2021, and it really doesn't look like they have a way out. After this year, they could cut him, but they would have $22 million in dead cap if they cut him this year. So what are you going to do?
They really got boned on that trade.
Yeah, but would you rather be them with Tannehill, or would you rather be the Jaguars with Bortles?
Well, Bortles isn't making as much, and they can get out of that for like $16 million, I think. Cap hit if they cut him, but $22 million to cut him after this year, like, gee.
Yeah. I still think that a lot of this team's success is going to rely on the defense. I think that they're going to go to the playoffs. So when they do get to the playoffs, in my opinion, because I don't think it's even a question, the Vikings are definitely going to go now, considering that they got their offense working properly now. But
Kirk Cousins though.
yeah, but they had 9 sacks.
Yeah, their defense finally got. Well, then
Yeah,
again,
nine
it was
sacks.
the Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins.
Still though, that's still a high number.
Yeah, they still looked good. They look good on both sides of the ball. But you got to give a little bit of slack because it was the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Okay, here's how good the Vikings are. They are only half a game ahead of the Eagles and Redskins, and only 1.5 ahead of the Panthers.
Okay, Redskins, forget about it. They're done.
Hey, they just won. They just defeated the mighty Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend.
Who?
Josh Johnson? Never heard of him?
All right. Anyways, so the Dolphins failed to capitalize this week after a success for the previous season. I don't really think that they're making playoffs, and they're pretty doubtful. They've been doubtful. I didn't think they were ever going to make it. Frank Gore got injured.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Not
that they're already weak at that position already. Not that Frank
Gore's
Gore's like. I think he should. I think this is probably going to be a career-ending injury.
Was it? I don't think it was that. It wasn't that nasty, was it?
I don't think it's like necessarily.
No, but if he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think he's out for the rest of the year, and then he goes out on that because, like, let's face it, he's too old now. He's not going to re-sign.
But I feel like he can't go out on that. Like, he's going to come out next year. He's going to put up a 2,000-yard season, and he's going to show everybody wrong.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Well, their third down back looked pretty good.
Collage.
Yeah. Third string back, he had the most success on the team that game. He's the only one who rushed for over 100 yards. Kenyon Drake didn't even step up.
What happened to him?
I don't know. He only had a few touches, which I'm kind of confused on that.
Yeah, because I thought him and Gore, I thought they split. But, like, they just gave up on Drake. Like, once Gore went out, they're just like, fuck, we just lost Drake too. And then they just gave up on him.
Yeah, I was just like, come on. I was like, what is going on here? Unless he got injured and I just didn't see that. But I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. I have to do more research on that. I don't really care enough to do a research on it, but
It's Miami.
So anyways, playoffs going forward. Do you guys think the Vikings are gonna make it?
If they continue to play well, then yes, because they're in as of right now, and it'll take some fuckery for the Eagles to take over that spot or the Panthers. So I think they're probably going to make it.
I think there's just too many like weird scenarios going on right now in the NFC. Like there's like all kinds of like this person needs to lose and I need to win out and they need to lose this many games. It's just too far fetched for the Vikings to get kicked out, in my opinion.
I mean, they are only half a game up on.
But they play Detroit next week.
And Redskins, so Detroit, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, but then they play Chicago in week 17.
Well, let's say, like...
Well, here's hoping for 2 losses.
Yeah, that's for hoping for 2 losses, so... I'm betting on the Vikings make it there, and they lose maybe first round to the Bears, because that's probably what it's going to be. That's what it's looking like right now.
Kirk Cousins can't go against like an elite defense and win.
Yeah, he's going to get shut the fuck down. And the only hope that they have is the run game, and we already seen that people can't run on the Bears, so what do they have in that situation? They don't have anything, and that's why they're probably going to be in the first round. But Dolphins, obviously, nobody thinks they're going to go there.
Yeah, Dolphins are a game back on the Colts and Titans. I don't see them making it.
No.
I would project the Browns over the Dolphins, even though that they were a more far-fetched situation apparently. But I don't know. I can't see the Dolphins going there.
No.
One thing though is what you guys think the Dolphins need to do in the off season.
Quarterback.
I mean, what can you do? You can't get rid
running
of
back, receiver, defense,
everything.
Learn how to win
full rebuild.
Yeah, learn how to win on the road. It's a good one.
I think that they need to reinforce the O-line and the D-line in the off season. Make a few trades and grab maybe a decent receiver, not like a stud. I mean, they
think
probably have the money too. Like they don't have that many people taking up cap.
there's too much that they need help with towards it's impossible to like pick on one thing that
Yeah,
they need.
Dolphins are one of those teams that just it's not looking good for the next few years. They're not a team who's just going to turn around next year, even though they're 7-7 this year, which actually kind of works against them because now
they're in
they're
like
not
one
going
of
to
the
get a
worst
decent draft
spots for
pick.
drafting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to take them a couple years before they get anything. It might as well just wait till Brady retires. To be real.
I think that this team might be in the worst situation going into the offseason.
Well, at least they have a decent coach.
I'm really confused how they got this. I'm really confused how they got to 7-7. How did they get to 7-7? That's the real
Playing well
question.
at home.
But they have no studs.
They play the Bills and the
That's
Jets
why I'm saying.
twice
I
a
think
year.
they're well coached. I think Adam Gase is a decent enough coach that
Well, he's not good enough to get some fucking help.
he has Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback. What do you want from him?
A new quarterback.
I still think Tannehill can be good. He just needs a good supporting cast around him. He has like no one.
I'm out on Tannehill. I've been out on Tannehill for a while now, so I will give you nothing.
I'd like
on
to
that.
hear it from somebody who's in on Tannehill and who's
Yeah.
always.
Can we find that guy? Hit us up on Twitter. BTH Pod.
Anyways, predictions. What do you guys think? Vikings versus Lions next week.
Vikings?
Yeah. What's your score?
Ooh. Probably 35-21.
Ooh.
Who? Vikings?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the defensive slugfest here. Let's go with 6-0 Lions.
Wow.
Just kidding. I don't know, man. I mean, the Lions aren't good.
Wait, would you say the Lions?
They're not
I don't
very
know, like 27-15 Vikings. This is gonna be a boring game. Who cares?
Garrett, I love your pick. Okay, Vikings 35-20.
What the fuck? Get out of my goddamn head.
Dude, I literally had all these set beforehand. This is weird. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I put up that many points again.
I've not seen Ryan's predictions, by the way.
dude, I have them all right here.
I can't see him.
But anyways, how about Dolphins versus Jags? Honestly, another game that no one wants to watch. But
Why'd you
Wow.
bring that up?
because
Is this game of the week?
yeah, I don't know. It's between the Raiders versus the Broncos next week and this one.
Oh my god.
You're really
say-
bringing me down.
I feel like Jags are gonna beat the Dolphins 17-14.
The Dolphins are still better than the Jags.
Yeah, but an upset. That's what I'm saying.
The Jags are they're
Yeah, the Jags are bad,
they're
but I'm
garbage.
saying an upset next week.
Jags are like they might be the worst team in the league. I know they're not, but who can be worse than them?
It's not the Redskins.
At least the
They're fourth string
Redskins,
quarterback.
oh yeah, they don't have a quarterback. You're right. Oh,
What do you think?
But they're better than Jaguars. I say it's 14-10.
well, they beat the Jags, didn't they? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with the Jag.
Let's go. Upset.
Yeah, the Jags.
Jags
Is it
win?
really that much of an upset? Where are they playing? I don't even know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways,
Yeah,
let's move on.
because the Colts can't win home or win away.
It doesn't really matter. This game
you know what?
means
Yeah,
nothing.
actually,
It's in Miami.
Okay, well then, yeah, Dolphins. Whatever the score I said for the Jags, just reverse it.
All right. Okay, so next
Can I get to a
game,
game I want to talk about.
game of the week, in my opinion, Colts versus Cowboys.
Not the
Yeah,
game.
we them boys.
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? So how hot are the Colts, and what attributes to their success in this game?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Colts came from a team who were last year one of the worst defensive lines in the league, and now they're one of the better defensive
they look
teams in the
good.
league, which is really weird.
Yeah, their
Uh,
defense is sneaky good.
Yeah.
They're so under the radar right now.
It's like their defensive line and their offensive line are both
Yeah.
really good.
Well, after defeating the Texans last week and now the Cowboys this week, I think the Colts are back. They just played two top defenses, and they annihilated the Cowboys. I'm not gonna say they completely creamed the Texans. They did about what I expect from a division rivalry game, but they still won.
Well,
I
so if
didn't
they make
expect
it,
them to
though-
win that game.
It'll have to be as a wild card, right? I can't see the Colts winning a division.
Oh no, definitely not.
No.
If they have
I
any
mean, the
success
Colts
going to
play.
the playoffs, it's
They
definitely gonna be a
play
wild card.
Giants and then the Titans. I mean, they're 2 games back right now, but I mean, they would have to have
2
some
probable wins,
They would have to have some things fall for them.
I think
like most teams.
I think one of the craziest things is that this team literally shows that top defenses don't matter. Like, this is the only team that, like, I can look at and be like, wow, defenses aren't that, like, heavy this year. And then you look at this team and you're like, wow, Andrew Luck can really score against them.
I don't think that's the case because they only put up 23 points. You know, it's not like they put up a
Yeah,
whole
but
lot
they
of points.
shut
It's
him
just
out.
it's just yeah, I know, but it's just that the Cowboys scored 0 points.
But if you're looking at other teams that put numbers up against the Cowboys recently, nobody's been able to put up like 20-some points against them within 4 quarters.
I mean, the Eagles game last week finished 20.
That went to overtime,
29, 23. I mean, they still put up 23 in regulation. I mean, and the Eagles are bad.
It's a divisional game, though.
All right, whatever. But I mean, you're saying defense doesn't matter, but doesn't it matter because the Colts shut them out?
I think the defense is like the biggest thing this year. Like, there's a lot of teams with like really solid defenses that are probably going to go to the playoffs. I'm just saying, like, it just seems like Andrew Luck doesn't really care. He's just
doesn't matter how good your defense is when you score 0 points.
Yeah. Can't win when you score 0.
That's true. I know that. But I don't necessarily think that Marlon Mack's good. I think that he's just behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. I think he's just behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. What's wrong with saying that? I don't think he's a stud. I think he's a good player for what he has, because if you put Zeke Elliott behind that line, he's going to run for fucking 200 yards every game.
Zeke Elliott has a better line, and he only rushed for 87 this game.
Yeah. What's your point?
I don't know. I think the Colts have a better offensive line.
I mean, Zach Martin was out.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think they have a better offensive line. But you can argue that he had a good performance this week. I mean, he hasn't really had...
Well, you can't argue because he had 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. You can't argue.
Yeah, this week. He only has 3 games over 100 yards behind this offensive line.
I'm not saying he's great or he's bad. I'm just saying you just said you can argue he had a good game. No, he did have a good game.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you could argue against my point, saying that he had a good performance. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, everybody would, because he had a good...
But one game doesn't attribute to a whole season of success.
But he's done well when he's been healthy, and when the Colts been actually moving the ball.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that he's not
You just said he was not good.
I'm just saying he's not a stud.
Nobody said he was a stud, and nobody's saying... You're saying he's bad. He's a good running back, something you said he wasn't.
All right. I think more than anything, this game just shows how anemic that Cowboys offense is with Scott Linehan, Dak Prescott, and Ezekiel. If Elliott doesn't have, let's say, 150 total yards, I don't see them winning any game. Like, how you can't win unless you have him get 150 yards between rushing and receiving. Because this game, you look at it yardage wise, it wasn't like, you know, some huge blowout. It just the Cowboys could get nothing done.
Yeah, it's literally like they didn't even show up to play football that day because, like, on the defensive side, Andrew Luck didn't really do much against their secondary, and like all the yards came from the running game, and those are supposed to be your best guys up the top, this front 4, and then you have your 2 linebackers back there. Like, what happened to the Cowboys? That's where they're strong at. Why did they just get run all over?
Stephen A. would say, once you start bloviating the Cowboys, they lose.
That is true, but like look at Alvin Kamara, who couldn't really do much against the Cowboys when they played the Saints, and then you look at this game and you're like, what is going on with this defense right now?
That's weird. That's just how football is sometimes, though.
I mean, I don't think it's what's going on with this defense. They only gave up 23 points, and in this day and age in the NFL, that's not so bad. It's just that your offense scored 0 points.
Yeah, but it's the fact that it was the run game. That's their strongest suit on defense.
Stopping it?
Yeah.
And Sean Lee was back too, wasn't he?
I was just surprised that they were getting run on.
Sean Lee only played he played less than 10 snaps. I believe.
Yeah, I think he only played 7.
A whole lot.
He only played 7 snaps. But I think the Cowboys got shut down because they're way too hyped up, and that's our next topic. Do you guys think they're overhyped?
Yes, they got shut down because Ezekiel Elliott gained less than 100 yards, and their defense played fine, but
I don't know. They underperformed, in my opinion.
sure,
On offense,
they didn't
They
have.
underperformed everywhere.
I guess. You make it seem like Andrew Luck's not good.
Okay, the one part of the Cowboys team that did well was their secondary. They held Andrew Luck under 200 yards, and he had no touchdowns.
Yeah. He only threw the ball 27 times. He had just as many passes as Marlon Mack had rushes.
Yeah.
Some balance.
Well, you can afford to keep running the ball when you know the Cowboys can't score. So
there's no offense on the other side, so what does it matter?
Well, I know one thing is when I was going to this game, I was thinking, they got to play the Colts. Like, yeah, they had a few tests during the regular season. They only played 3 teams in the regular season over 500. I thought that they were going to lose to the Colts, and I couldn't see them beating them out. There's just too much hype surrounding this team for beating teams that are under 500, and I don't know.
I mean, you can only play who the schedule tells you to play. I'm
not saying like that's their fault, but it's just I think their fans need to calm down a little bit. This isn't like the fucking 2015 Cowboys.
I'll never hold a bad schedule against a team. If you're winning, it doesn't matter who you're beating. You can only play who you're supposed to be playing. That's the way I look at it. I don't know, but Cowboys aren't good. It would be absolutely hilarious if they end up losing these last 2 games. I could not imagine a better thing in the world.
I think a lot of people would be happy with that, but there would also be a lot of people really upset with that.
Yeah, but less.
Yeah, a lot less.
More people would be happy.
But so Dak Prescott had himself a Dak today, Sunday. Tim, you almost nailed the number on the dot. You said 205, you had 206. An interception.
The Cowboys are only scoring 19.7 points a game. You can't expect to win that many games, no matter how good your defense is, when you're only scoring 20 points a game in 2018.
Does that count the 0 that they put up today? Or on Sunday?
I don't know, but I'd imagine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be that person that steps out and says, well, I'm sure that you guys probably agree with this too, but Dak has not been good in the past 3 games, and I don't even care what he said.
Hot take.
Yeah, but I don't even care what anybody says about the 4th quarter and overtime. The fact that he played 3 quarters of bad football last week, Dak's not good. He's not good, and no Cowboy should ever say that he's the guy.
They're only throwing for 215 yards a game.
But this is the problem. Cowboys fans, they see a win and they're like, "Oh yeah, Dak's the best."
Some Cowboys
and then they
fans.
lose.
I think that a lot
and
of
then they're
fans
like,
are coming around.
I don't know. I still see a lot of people out there that are like, Dak is amazing. Like, I don't know. I just can't.
If Dak turns the ball over, they're not going to win.
They should not be happy with that quarterback. They need to get rid of him.
Well, how can you get rid of him? They're not. Jerry Jones has already said he's literally already said he's going to get extended.
Yeah.
So
and Jerry Jones is a moron. That's why he's never going to win another Super Bowl.
Are you mad at that?
Huh?
You say it like you're upset that the Cowboys aren't going to win another one because of Jerry Jones.
Yeah, but it's just ignorance at that point. Your quarterback's not good. I don't want to sit there and watch a team just completely fall apart because they're making stupid decisions.
I do. When it's the Cowboys that are doing it, I'm all for it.
With the exception of the Eagles game, every Cowboys game that Dak has won this year, he hasn't turned the ball over. If he turns the ball over once, they've lost every game, except for the Philly game.
I'm not trying to let my emotions take over about how I feel about the Cowboys, because obviously I do want them to continue to lose, but if I'm trying not to be biased, they can't keep Dak. They need to get rid of him. I don't know what Jerry Jones is waiting for.
They need to clear everyone. I mean, I would rather keep Dak and get rid of Garrett and Linehan and see if he's different under someone else, because he's shown that he's a half-decent quarterback.
Start there. But if it's the same situation next season, and say they do get rid of Garrett, but they're not this season,
I'm all for
then you got to look at Dak.
I'm all for them keeping Garrett and Linehan. So by all means, keep them, but they're not going to win with either of them. I mean, how many playoff wins does Jason Garrett have? 2? Or no? Does he have any?
He has 1 against the Lions, I think.
Oh yeah, that the game where they
where the refs handed them the game.
Yeah, that game.
Yeah.
And then it came right back around on them the next week.
Yeah. Smacked him in the face.
That was great. I love watching that game. And then the other time, though, when they make the playoffs and the Packers shut them down again.
Well, not this year because the Packers are bad. Hey, speaking of the Packers,
No. Okay, we gotta decide predictions for next week first. So Cowboys versus Bucks. What do you guys think?
I'm just gonna ride it. Bucks win that game. I don't know, 27-20.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
I'll go Buccaneers 24-17.
Ooh, I say Cowboys 23-21.
Fuck you. How dare you say Cowboys?
I don't want them to win, but I just see them winning this game. I mean, they're definitely going to be upset about losing this one.
What about the other one, Colts?
So Colts versus the Giants.
Is it in New York?
I don't remember.
That's a big changer.
Yeah, it is.
Is it though?
No, it's not.
It's
Doesn't
at
matter
Indy.
whatsoever.
I don't know. The Giants are.
It is at Indy.
The Giants are a good team. It's just
Yeah.
The Giants are not a good team. It's
They
very obvious that they're not a good team.
Here they
Why
go.
would you say that?
Super Bowl bound.
no. They're a good team. They have good talent. It's just Eli Manning's too old.
The Giants are mathematically eliminated after this week,
Yeah,
correct?
they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
they're
double check.
They're done. But who do you think? What do you say?
Giants 35, Colts 31.
Ooh.
A shootout, an old Eli shootout.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Colts 35, like 17. I mean,
You guys are like right in between. I mean,
sucks.
you guys are like, you're a little high, Garrett. You're a little bit low, Tim. I say 33-21 Colts. All right. Anyways,
now let's move on to another team mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely going. Bears versus Packers, but we're gonna talk about the Bears first.
Oh no, why don't we just talk about the Packers real quick? We can just eliminate them just like the playoffs.
No, we're gonna talk about them afterwards. But Bears get the final win to clinch the division.
Hey,
Do you guys like Mitch Trubisky being back for this team?
Nope,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mitch Trubisky is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL of all time. He's all right.
Imagine
does
if
not
that
win.
year. Imagine if they took like Mahomes that year. How much better they would be.
Wouldn't even be fair.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
It'd be fucking stupid to watch the Bears.
Yeah, but then the Chiefs wouldn't be dominant this year.
That's
That'd
just
be great.
another
So?
little side tangent here, but just like how desperate teams are for quarterbacks that someone would take Mitch Trubisky with the second overall pick. I don't think he's bad. He's not a second overall pick
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, you
Has
know,
there-
a lot of first-round picks don't really live up to their potential anymore.
Yeah, but has there ever been, like, in recent years, like a good number 2 pick? I can't think of any besides Mitch Trubisky.
I can think of one.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't think of one either, Tim.
Just
Oh, well.
Trubisky.
One doesn't
Um,
even start for his team half the time.
Exactly. Trubisky's there almost all the time.
Exactly.
Well, he didn't start much last year. Anyway,
One thing that's troubling for this team is the lack of offensive variety. Really, they're really one-dimensional. All they're doing is running Cohen and Howard recently. Not like he's been doing much all season, but recently he's been having pretty much success. But that's basically what they are. They're run and defensive heavy.
But Trubisky.
yeah, it's like 1985 or something. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
this
know
is
if
some
it's
old
85,
school football here. And then we
Yeah.
talk about how they talk about how Matt Nagy is a young mind on offense. Like
He
I mean,
is.
he is.
he's not. He's running old school
He is,
football. He's running
No, he's
old
not,
school
though.
football.
Well, he has
running-
to.
He's running wildcat shit though, like out of the box, like weird ass plays.
I think Matt
And it's
Nagy's really good.
Working.
But he
I mean-
built an old school football team.
He's going to be coach of the year when he's not the one who drafted Mitch Trubisky. He got the job after he was already drafted. You know,
He's working with what he got.
But he got Khalil Mack.
yeah, but he's an offensive coach, so that doesn't really have anything
I'm pretty sure he's still in charge of personnel. But
I mean, if he is or isn't, it doesn't. I mean, he is an offensive coach. Like that's
Yeah.
what he is. He's the offensive guy. Vic Fangio, who's I don't know. I mean, a guy who probably could get a head coaching job, but it depends on how willing a team is to give a defensive coordinator a head coaching position, which is kind of slim, I think, like nowadays. But yeah, Bears is going to win it with running and defense every week, and that's pretty much all they can really try to do because Trubisky is not going to air it out 40 times a game, and if he does, they're probably not going to win.
I don't think it's necessarily like that. Mitch Trubisky can't do that. I think it's just like
he can.
He's another
that he can.
yeah. He's another one of those guys who doesn't have the targets. Like he's just like Tannehill. He has like nobody to throw to.
He's Allen Robinson, who used to be very good.
Yeah,
and now
he was never like a
Trey Burton. He's a top 10 tight end.
He's all right.
And he's coming out of the backfield. That's a really good threat to come out of your backfield.
Yeah, Cohen's the biggest star on that offense.
Yeah, Taylor Gabriel. I mean, sure, Bellamy, whatever. Like, outside of Robinson and Burton, like on the outside, there's not really much.
Yeah. So, anyways, a lot of success on the defensive side of the ball, which everybody expected. Putting a lot of pressure on Rodgers, forcing him to throw it away, guarding 4 sacks and an interception.
Throwaway king.
That's what everybody.
Okay, did anybody expect the Bears to be this fucking good though? Like when they got Mac?
No.
I didn't. This is a complete turnaround for them from last year. Weren't they in last place in the division?
No. Maybe division. No, I feel like the Lions had to have been just because it's the Lions.
I don't know. I think the Bears were in last place.
Defensive wise though, like their defense was good last year, but like this year, like it's just dumb how good they are. That's not even fair.
Khalil Mack has 6 forced fumbles. That is insane.
It is.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's Khalil Mack for you.
Yeah, he's
their
an
defensive
animal.
line.
Dude's an animal. Yeah, Bears were in last place last year.
Which defensive line is better, the Broncos or Bears?
Ooh.
Defensive line? I'll say the Broncos do, slightly.
I mean,
it's just that Khalil Mack is such an overwhelming presence. It's just...
Yeah, and Roquan.
Yeah. Oh, Roquan's what a good pick. That Roquan Smith is so good.
Yeah. I feel like you'd almost have to make it like pick the Bears as better, only because like of all the talent that they have. Not like if
you're talking about overall defense, but if you're talking about defensive line specifically, then it would be Broncos.
Yeah, but I think with how much help the Bears have like over top, like in their secondary, it just makes the defensive line look so much better.
Yeah,
I feel like
their linebackers, they're just
they have like the most well-rounded defense of anybody, no doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that they're number one. A lot of people say the Ravens are number one, but I think the Bears are number one. I think they're a little underrated.
I think the Ravens are a really good defense, but I think the Bears only are better because they have an offense that can actually do something, like that can actually throw the ball. The Ravens can't fucking throw the ball.
Yeah. Well, either way, talk about somebody a team that's not in the contention anymore, the Packers. They're out.
Rip.
But in my opinion, I still think that they look better offensively because they might have beat the Bears at home on a lucky game early in the season, but the Bears were not heating up. They weren't heated then.
No, now they're on fire.
I mean,
now they're
Aaron Rodgers had less than 300 yards and an interception. It's not like he looked astounding or anything.
Yeah, but the interception wasn't his fault though. That was Jimmy Graham's.
Yeah.
And everybody
still threw an interception and not a touchdown.
Well, when it gets batted up, you can't really do much there. But I still think I'm not talking about Rodgers specifically, but I think the whole team played better offensively than they have most of the season.
They scored 17 points. Like, how good can you be when you're scoring less than?
But if you're comparing it to how the Rams played last week against the Bears defense, and they're still playing hot like they were. They played better offensively in this game than they did in most other games, and that's my honest opinion because there weren't a bunch of drop balls like there were previous games with them.
Are you trying to get us to tell you that Aaron Rodgers is better than Jared Goff? Because like he is, no one's gonna argue.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the team as a whole on offense because there's a lot of bad things going on with this offense.
They still look bad. I don't think that because they fired
I'm not
McCarthy,
saying that they look good. Okay, I'm just saying that they look better than they did in previous games.
I think they look just as shitty before McCarthy as they do now. It's not like anything changed. Rodgers is still making like a subpar plays. He's still throwing the ball away like a motherfucker. And he's still taking hits.
What do you want? He knows he's not making the playoffs. You know how far-fetched them making the playoffs was, even with them winning this game?
Well, maybe if Aaron Rodgers could have won a single road game this year, they would have had a chance.
Yeah, that would have helped a little bit.
0-7 on the road, not looking good. I don't know if Rodgers is still good, obviously, but
It's really disappointing for me.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's very disappointing.
Yeah, and it's all Rodgers' fault.
I hate you guys. I still don't think that, and I'm gonna keep saying that until if it's the same next season, then maybe I'll change my mind on that. But
Just to be clear for everybody, no matter what Rodgers does, it's not his fault. It's somebody else's. He could throw like a shitty pass, but it would still be the receiver's fault for not being there for it. Just so we're clear.
well, let's talk about the Hail Mary that Devontae Adams dropped in the end zone that was right in his fucking hands.
Okay, yeah, that they let in his hands, and it was contested still.
And how many times am I gonna have to watch Jimmy Graham have a ball thrown to him and he drops it?
Okay, why the fuck is Rodgers throwing to Jimmy Graham? Shouldn't you be asking that at some point?
Because you need to throw to your tight end sometimes. Why do other teams throw to their tight end? You need to fucking throw to your big body guy.
Here's Aaron Rodgers' progressions. It's Devontae Adams. All right, no, throw the ball away. Okay.
Because who you gonna trust on that offense? You got 2 rookies, and then you have Randall Cobb, who's washed up. Who does he have to throw to? You tell me.
No, he doesn't spread the ball like Nick Foles. I'll say that.
He can't. He has nobody.
Or Baker Mayfield.
We don't need to talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore. I'm sick of talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, me too.
And the Packers as a whole.
Anyways.
Win a fucking road game.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing on this offense is their run game, and that was the only thing that shined on Sunday.
They didn't even have Aaron Jones, though.
He played. He got hurt. He got hurt.
Yeah, he left, and that's when Jamal Williams came in and had 12 for 55, and he had 4.6 yards to carry.
Yeah,
he did well.
He did pretty well. That's what I'm saying. They have a decent run game.
But he has to do better because he has to fucking carry Rodgers.
Dude, what are you gonna do against the Bears defense, though?
But
You're acting like it's some major thing that like the running game wasn't that great when they were playing
Rodgers
the Bears.
was 1 for 4 in the red zone. How are you gonna win against a good defense? You have 4 attempts in the red zone. No, it's not.
A lot of teams aren't that good against the Bears, so I'm not really mad about this game. I didn't expect them to win, and I don't really care. I already marked this season off when they lost to Seattle.
All right, who the Packers got next week? They got the Jets next week. That's an L for the Packers right there. Sam Darnold's about to toss it all over him, get into a real QB battle with Rodgers, and show why he is the next heir to the Aaron Rodgers throne. All right, I think that's about it for that game.
You're skipping a little head here, Tim.
Who the Bears got?
No, we're looking forward into the Bears, and what do you guys think about their playoffs chances? Where do you see them ending up as far as what round, or could they potentially make a run in the Super Bowl?
I think they're going to win their division.
Well, obviously. They already clinched it.
I think they can make a serious threat for the 2 seed because the Rams look fucking atrocious right now.
Game behind the Rams.
Look terrible, and the Bears are hot as shit.
And Carolina's winning right now in the second quarter, so against the Saints.
7-6.
They're a game behind both of them.
I think
they have a tiebreaker over the Rams, so if they have the same, if they finish the same record, they'll be ahead. I don't know. I see the Bears winning. I don't see them getting a top seed, but I think if they have a home playoff game, they'll win. But I don't see them winning at New Orleans.
I don't see them beating New Orleans, but I do see them beating the Rams potentially, like you said.
Well, I mean,
beat the Rams
yeah, I
already.
know, but I mean, like in the playoffs. The playoffs is different though. Like teams step up in the playoffs. Like the Rams are probably playing like to their competition right now because they already have an in. Like they don't really. They're not.
I just think Jared Goff has been bad.
Yeah, he has been playing bad. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not talking about the Rams right now because we'll get to that eventually. But I can see the Bears being a threat for the championship. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl though. But the Bears are in a similar situation as the Ravens, where I think that these heavy defenses are going to be a problem in going to the postseason.
But the Bears have an offense. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the Bears will be better.
Yeah.
I don't see the Ravens making it to the divisional round, but I could see them like being
That's
a
the
problem.
The Ravens have the top defense in the league by yards allowed.
Yeah, well, either way,
They play the Chargers this week, though.
everybody knows that the Bears' problem is they need to score more points because they are.
And they're not going to play a team as bad as the Packers every week, so don't need to do
But
better.
when their defense is that good, like they don't need to score a whole lot of points, so it helps them.
Well, here's my question to you. You guys think that they could go to the Super Bowl and beat somebody like Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Really think
I don't
so?
see why they couldn't. Yeah,
I
because their
don't see
defense
that,
is
man.
outstanding.
I don't see how they could beat somebody like Drew Brees or Tom Brady.
if the Cowboys could beat
You have to
Drew
be able to
Brees
put.
with that defense, why couldn't the Bears?
Yeah, but you have to be out. You have to be like outstanding on offense to go against somebody like that. You can't just shut
You
down.
don't though.
You can't expect to go into a game and try to shut Tom Brady down for four quarters, or same for Drew Brees. Like,
Pittsburgh did.
yeah, but that's a regular season game.
And
When
the
we're
Cowboys
talking about
did
these
against
guys
the
excel
Bruins.
to another, they excel to another level when the game is on the line in the postseason. Like, these guys are world like class quarterbacks.
I don't know. I think that with the Bears, like if they ride a winning streak into the playoffs, like they're as dangerous as can be.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think they're the most lethal team heading into the playoffs if they win out.
That's a joke, right? The Bears?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I kind of agree with
No,
that.
I think so.
I agree that they're very lethal because of that defense, but I just
They're
don't
bad
see
on
them beating out
offense.
somebody like Tom Brady or Drew Brees. That's my only problem with them.
Forget about Tom Brady. They need to win 2 games before they can even get to Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Or
I know. Yeah, 3
And
games.
that's saying Brady beats the Chiefs or the
Well, he already
Steelers.
did once.
Either way, next year the Bears need some more targets on offense. That's what they need. They need a solid tight end up.
They have a solid tight end.
I don't like Burden.
Fuck you. They need a receiver outside of Robinson. That's all they need,
Well,
and then they'll be good.
Well, if we're being
Yeah, other
real,
than
they
that,
need
they're
a
all around
quarterback.
great.
But
They don't need a quarterback. Trubisky's the future. You'll see.
yeah, but you can't just give up on Mitch Trubisky yet.
I'm not saying give up on him, but I mean it's pretty clear he's just okay.
I'm sure the Rams thought the same thing with Jared Goff when Jeff Fisher was there, but then he
Yeah,
went
that's Jeff
lights out.
Fisher. You can't everything with Jeff Fisher. You have to take with a grain.
Well, anyways, looking at the other side, what do you guys think that the Packers need to do going into the offseason?
They need
Give
a
him your
quarterback.
quarterback.
Yeah, I think they need to step up.
I think the Aaron Rodgers replacement is going to be
Deshaun
drafted
Kaiser.
in 2020.
Not Deshaun Kaiser. He's already there.
Yeah, right. I think what they need to do is look for a young, innovative coach on offense or a defensive-minded guy and let Rodgers run his own offense.
I think that they're almost. I think they're in a pretty similar situation to the Dolphins. Like their quarterbacks are like clearly Rodgers is better than Tannehill, but like they both lack a defense. They both lack like real weapons outside of Devontae Adams. Their run games are both weak. Like they're in the same situation as the
Well, I
Dolphins.
would say the Packers are better off run game-wise.
I don't
They
know.
have two
like,
young guys there. I don't think that Aaron Jones is like proven that he can. I don't think he's there yet, but he has the potential to be there. It's just the fact that the Packers never have been known for using their running backs, and Aaron Rodgers specifically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're still in a very similar situation as Miami. Like they're just fucked.
Yeah, they're in like full rebuild.
They should be. I don't think they are though because
I think they are. They need a lot. They need to cut
No.
Jimmy Graham. They need to get a tight end. They need to get a linebacker to replace Clay Matthews. They need to get some people on the offensive line.
Secondary.
Not offensive line. They need somebody. They need good tackles. They have
They
no
need
good
an offensive
tackles.
line. But
Well, it's
they
hard
need
to rebuild
new
an entire
secondary.
team in one.
Or my bad. They need guards. They don't need tackles.
Yeah, they can't rebuild. I feel like they won't accept the rebuild because they still have Rodgers, and they're still going to think Rodgers can lead them somewhere. But it's not even a chance.
Well,
at
that
this
depends
point.
on who comes in to coach next.
It
I mean,
doesn't-
you're going to be with Jimmy Graham's going to be there next year, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because he's such a
Yeah.
big hit on the cap, so they're not going to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's out to stay there.
After next season, they could cut him, but still,
I think they could still go out there and they could pick somebody up and maybe put Graham as like a backup tight end.
No, they'll never be an actual threat. The Packers. I mean, you got to worry about them a little bit. But
I think they need at least 2 years
need
to
to be
figure
scared.
out if they can be decent again. But
by that time,
Aaron Rodgers only has
is already
3
done.
years left. So.
I know
Yeah.
that's why I'm starting to get worried. I'm really upset about this. It sucks.
They're done
But
next week.
anyways, predictions for next week. We have Packers versus Jets, and we already know Tim's. He said Jets.
17-10 Jets.
Ooh, I'll go 21-20 Jets.
I'm going 17-14 Packers.
Oh, what a surprise!
Wow, you think Aaron Rodgers is going to put up 17 points against that Jets D?
Yeah,
Yeah, you think that Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers
Rodgers
can outplay
consistent.
Darnold?
He's been playing consistently 17 points a game.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bears versus 49ers. Who are you guys taking?
Ugh.
What a show.
49ers, 49-3. The Bears will have at least one defensive touchdown. Who's logging onto Xbox? It'll be something like 32-9
Bears.
Bears. Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, not very high scoring. I would be surprised if the Bears scored 20 points. I don't know, like 2010 Bears. The 49ers suck.
Yeah, I'm with Tim on this. I'm saying Bears 24-10, low scoring game.
How do the Bears score? I mean,
They don't.
Defense.
They're running backs. That's it.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? You can't count on the defensive score every week.
All right.
Yeah, but they can have a
Anyways, we spent way too much time on this game. Let's move on. Let's talk about Steelers Patriots. You guys think the
Yeah.
Steelers are rekindling their playoff hopes?
I don't know.
I think they
Steelers
just been tanking, making themselves look subpar to where they ride into the playoffs as like they're all right, and then they just like light it up. Big Ben comes out. He's just like, "Fucking, I'm still Big Ben. I'm gonna show you what's up." And there you go, Super Bowl bound.
Tim,
What do I think about the game or the Steelers?
what do you think
going
about their
forward?
chances? I mean, we'll get to the game in a second, but
I mean, how could anyone possibly know what to say or think about the Steelers where they just do
they're
weird
so hit
shit
or miss
every
right
week?
now.
Yeah, like
Like-
real talk, they're just a big ass question mark.
Yeah, like this is just a weird game overall. Like, and kind of a boring one too. But
I wouldn't necessarily say they're back. Winning 17-10 is not impressive at all, and that's not proving.
I mean, beating the Patriots is
Yeah,
impressive.
that is
when you-
impressive.
When you lost to them 11 times, only won 2, well now 3. I think it's pretty impressive.
I guess winning against them is all right, but I mean, Tom Brady's getting old.
But holding the Patriots offense to 10 points, that's pretty impressive.
It is. I'm not gonna say that that's bad, but I don't know. I don't think it was the win that they needed to get back on track.
It definitely is.
No,
Having
because it
been
wasn't
lost-
like if they would have put up maybe like 27 points, then I would say okay, the Steelers are in good condition. They're back,
A
but
win's
they
a
scored
win.
17.
A win's a win.
I know
It doesn't
that
matter how you get it.
Dub's a dub.
it is,
Yeah,
but
they beat the Patriots, a top contender in the AFC, and they're back on track. If they lost, they're out of it. Like, there's no way you could ride. They have no momentum if they lose. But since they win, like, they beat the Patriots. Like, there's so much momentum now.
I guess. I
There's
mean,
no denying that.
you could argue that. I mean, it's just still a step in the right direction, obviously,
I mean,
but it's not.
Even though Jalen Samuels had like 150 yards this game, I think it depends.
Yeah, 19 carries.
I think it depends what Connor does when he comes back and what he's able to do.
Yeah. Well, Big Ben only had 235 yards. Is one of the reasons why I said it wasn't like a performance that I was.
Yeah,
He
and
also
only
had 2 vintage picks.
Yeah, and this
Only
is
2, though.
this is Ben's problem. Stop throwing picks, dude.
One
The
really
turnovers
wasn't-
are killing your team. You need to take care of the ball.
The one wasn't his fault, though.
Yeah.
He needs to take care of the ball, though. He's overthrowing people. He's throwing interceptions. He's underthrowing. He's blaming everybody but himself.
He's always done that though.
But this is like the worst like we've seen of him doing this.
Well, they just beat the Patriots, so
Yeah, but it's not like he did it with like class. He
I
still
mean-
has some problems, and he needs to figure that out before they can make like any kind of run in the playoffs.
not every game is, the Super Bowl last
perfect.
year where it's, 40 to 30 something. Some games are low scoring. That's just the way it is.
I know, but it's not that. It's the fact that Ben has been playing like this for the past like how many games? 5 now.
Yeah.
If that's
But at least he got a win this week.
yeah,
That's all that matters.
but at least the run game looked alive again.
Yeah, and Big Ben is really spreading the ball around. I mean, it used to be like last year, year before that, year before that, year before that, just AB only.
No,
And
it's
then who's the-
AB Le'Veon, AB Le'Veon, AB
Yeah,
Le'Veon.
but it was heavy
James
AB.
Washington, leading receiver on the
Yeah.
Steelers, not Patriots.
Yeah, but when AB has 49, then you got James Washington at 65, Juju 40, Jalen Smith even had 30 yards, Eli Rogers had 20. Like, he's just spreading the ball all around.
Yeah,
that's
it was
good.
good team play
Yeah.
for
he
once.
played like Brady almost. Brady spreads the ball out like a motherfucker.
And it was still a game where at the very end the Patriots
Yeah.
had a shot.
And Gronk made a tackle to help him.
69, nice. But okay, so moving on from the Steelers, are the Patriots showing signs of decline? This is 2 straight losses for them, and they haven't been looking too
Okay, you can't
in
say
the
2
past
straight
2
losses,
showings though.
But like last week, like you say as if like they got beat. It was
But
a
that
fluke
should have
play.
been a dominating game against the Dolphins.
No,
Shouldn't,
they
because
never
Miami
dominate
has
in
their
Miami.
number.
But
Miami got their number. Just like the Patriots always have the Steelers
how are you
number.
gonna let Ryan Tannehill put up what?
Well, we
34
don't need to talk about
points?
that game last week. We all know,
34 points against that defense. Like what the hell?
in Miami, and the Patriots have not been good on the road. They're 3-5 away.
Well, yeah, but still,
You say gotta win.
this is like a game that you would expect the Patriots to win here against the Steelers.
Of course, considering we're 11-2 before this game.
And that's what I'm saying. Are they showing signs of decline? They just lost to the Dolphins and they lost to the Steelers. Who knows? Maybe they're going to lose next week.
I mean, any team could lose any week, just the way it is.
Well, one thing I'll say is Tom Brady didn't.
I mean, they won't because they play the Bills, but
Tom Brady didn't look Tom Brady like caliber. Like he kind of looked like he was playing with his old age now. In this game, at least. I mean,
okay, but
last
the thing is,
week
why
he came off of his best performance of the season.
he's
this
been looking
week,
fine all year. So why
He
why
has
just
one
this
bad
week?
game, and
why
it's
is he
he's
old
done.
now?
well, I
like,
mean,
you
he's
think
been
he just
having a
aged and
pretty
just-
subpar season.
He said before this game he felt better than he had felt in a long time.
It's easy for someone to say that, but when you can see it on the field, it's not
He's had
the
one
same.
bad game.
I mean, he still threw for 279 and a touchdown. I mean, it's not like he had some terrible games.
He's fine.
That's
I'm not
kind
saying
of the stat line he
I'm
usually
not
puts
saying
up.
he had a bad game. I'm just saying like he looks old. He looks like
And I
his
just don't
age is
have a-
catching up on him really fast.
Disagree, but
I mean, 20. How many touchdowns does he have now? 24. And how many interceptions?
But that's
like
not
8, 9.
But just because he's not throwing 50 touchdowns a year doesn't mean that he's not
He's winning
still
games.
the best.
I don't know. I mean, that can be for everybody else to decide. I think it's.
Brady's still the GOAT. Doesn't matter.
He threw another interception this week, so.
I mean, now it's
He only
looking
scored
like
10 points for his team, and the only touchdown that he actually threw was on a blown coverage play that shouldn't even have been a touchdown.
You're saying it as if like Pittsburgh has a shit defense. Like Pittsburgh, they played well, like really well. They were dominant as hell.
They did play a really good game, and that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady didn't. He probably wouldn't have had a touchdown if they wouldn't have blown the coverage on Chris Hogan.
But they did. You can't say like what if. Like if like there's a lot
that
of
was
what
just
ifs.
that was just like a fluke on the defense, though. Like you don't really see that shit at like in the professional.
It was a nice play call.
No, I think it was a bad decision on the secondary. They had 3 receivers running on who was it, Edelman?
I don't know, some guy.
I'm pretty sure it was Edelman, and then Hogan came across
some white guy
on a flat route and literally was wide open, no one around him at all.
Yeah,
like, you don't see that at the professional level.
Well, you do though, because we just saw it.
Yeah, that was a fluke. But
all right, well, it looks like the Patriots went from 2 weeks ago thinking, oh man, we can get that first seed, have home field advantage now, and now as of right now, they're playing wild card weekend, which is that'd be crazy. Like, when's the last time the Patriots had to play a wild card weekend?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'd be excited to see it.
It's been a long time since that they haven't won 12.
You know what's crazier right now? The fact that they can actually lose that division and Miami can win it still.
Yeah, I know. How fucking crazy is that?
That's the best thing.
It is funny, and I would love to see that, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And there's no way.
No.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Their last 2 games are against the Bills and Jets, so I'm seeing 2 wins here for them to finish off the year.
Yeah.
It'd be like those little confident boosters, and then they'll get right back on track.
Well,
And then it'll be the vintage Patriots in the playoffs, and it's like, fuck.
anyways, so moving on to the playoffs and the draft positions for these teams.
I don't think
anyway.
draft positions have
Yeah,
much relevance.
yeah, for these 2 teams, like they're both
Well, I
fine.
mean, like, still, they can look at what positions they need to build on.
I think they're both fine. The Steelers are pretty well rounded. They got their quarterback for the future with Rudolph back there already. So I don't know why they're putting in Dobbs ever.
Patriots they need more of a pass rush.
Who?
The Patriots.
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. But I think what they need to do before anything is they need to find a replacement for Gronk. He looks so janky out there.
They'll find one. They always seem to.
Gronk is like falling apart.
Yeah, but some white guy's gonna show up.
Yeah, it'll be some white undrafted free agent. They'll
play
find
the cross.
Yeah.
Here's the question: when do they start looking for a replacement for Brady? Though, is it next year, 2020?
I think that at
QB
this point
class?
he will. I think he will tell them at some point. I don't think it's going to be them moving on from him. It'll be him moving on, telling them this is going to be my last year, or
Yeah.
next year is going to be my last year, or whatever. I don't think it's going to be.
It's not up to the
Some
Patriots
Yeah, but
when
if
Brady
you- if
goes.
I mean,
you're-
it's not
if
that it's
you're
not, but I think
coach for
that
the
they've built.
Patriots, I would think that you'd want to draft somebody and have them learn from Tom Brady, kind of like how Aaron Rodgers learned from Brett Favre.
Well, they had that guy, but Tom Brady was still too good to replace.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm saying like, I don't know. I think that you need to get somebody in there to learn from him, pass on that knowledge of his.
I don't think it's relevant. You still got Tom Brady back there.
But
Yeah,
they do
I
need to
don't think.
bolster the line, and they need a tight end for sure.
Yeah, they don't have many holes now that the Steelers. I think they're two. I mean, obviously
more
two
well-rounded
playoff teams. Yeah,
Well,
two
either way,
championship contender.
I still
Yeah.
think that the Patriots are still a championship contender, and I think that they're a Super Bowl
course.
contender still.
Yeah, you can never count them out.
Yeah, if there's one thing you're going to bet on, it's going to be the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. But it's looking bleaker and bleaker with these last 2 games. And how crazy would it be if the Patriots lost in the wild card round?
I
It'd be
mean,
pretty crazy.
That would
Yeah.
be interesting.
Unlikely, but definitely
very
crazy.
unlikely.
That would be kind of weird.
I mean, they'd be
Crazy.
playing like the Steelers or Ravens or
Or
Colts.
Chargers.
No, the Chargers are a division winner.
No,
Oh, no, they're not. What the hell?
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, they could
Yes,
play the
you're right.
Chargers.
but they could also play the Chiefs if the Chargers win.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, there's a lot of contenders in the AFC that the
Yeah,
Patriots
honestly,
could
even though
lose
there's only
to.
2 games left, I still feel like it's too early to even talk about matchups yet.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
I don't
Anything
know.
can happen.
I think picking out the scenarios now is
I
a
mean,
good idea.
AFC. I mean, they're so close. The wild card is so close in both divisions.
The
It's
AFC
like
is
their
so good this
conferences-
year.
Yeah.
The
so
balance
is the
has
NFC.
switched so hard. Now the NFC is trash. Oh,
Yeah, it's stupid right now. Like, yeah, they're just really good, like AFC wise. But yeah, it's just too early to talk about who's gonna make it because literally I have no idea what's gonna happen
Yeah.
yet.
well, anyways, Steelers, will they make the playoffs?
Probably, I would like to say so. They'd have to really blow it at the end.
Oh,
But
I
they
didn't
do
know.
play
that's-
New Orleans
I didn't
next
know that
week.
was like an actual question.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see them not making it. They play New Orleans and Cincinnati in week 17.
Cincinnati. Yeah, they'll at least go 9-6-1, worst case scenario.
I don't know. I can
But if
see
they
the
play
Steelers
like they do this
missing
week
it
against
this
New
year.
Orleans,
I can see him missing it this year, but I could also see him making it to the divisional round if they actually like pick up like what's falling apart right now. If they can
I feel
ride
like they
this
did.
momentum into the Saints game and win the Saints game, which is gonna be a tough one, obviously.
but the
Yeah, 'cause the Saints are
look
still
good right
playing
now.
for. They're still playing for seed. I mean, obviously they made the playoffs. They're clinching already, but the Saints on home field throughout. That's huge for them because
Yeah.
it's history has shown dome teams do not travel well, especially in
No.
the playoffs.
So they definitely want that seed.
That's a good home field advantage that the
Mhm.
Saints have.
Yeah, so you can expect them to come out.
Exactly, the
gunning
Saints are
against
going to
the
come out.
Steelers. So
Well, yeah, but I
know,
don't think it
feel like
matters.
the Steelers might miss the playoffs this year.
No,
Well,
And
who's
how
gonna
crazy would that be? You don't sign Le'Veon Bell, then you miss the playoffs, and then he's just
Le'Veon's
like,
not the
"Yeah, you should have
difference.
signed me."
I mean,
or
they still
gave
have
me
a
the money.
half-game lead. They have a half-game lead on all 3 of the teams who are 8-6. You know, I don't.
yeah,
see
they
them
get a
missing it.
bye week with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like if they beat New Orleans, they're already in. If they lose to New Orleans, all they have to do is just beat Cincinnati and they're in. Like it doesn't matter.
Either way, I think that
It'd be like saying, "Are the Patriots going to make the playoffs?" Yeah,
one thing that the Steelers should start to look for is a replacement for Antonio Brown.
but he's only 31 years old. AB's fine, and they got the replacement with Juju.
Yeah, but Juju's gonna be the next guy. They need somebody else in there to get another number 2 guy in there like Juju, like how AB has been.
Well, what if AB just becomes the number 2 guy?
I mean, he
is this year. Juju
Like Reggie
has
Wayne
more
with
yards.
T.Y. Hilton.
He
Juju
could.
has more receiving yards this year. He's their leading.
I'm
They're,
not
leading
necessarily
receiver.
saying like take AB out of the lineup. I'm saying get a guy in there, let him shadow underneath AB.
Yeah, they do have that guy already though.
Yeah, it's called Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know if you heard of that
No,
kid.
he's gonna be fine. He'll be the number 1 guy. They need another one though.
But AB's still young enough that he is the number 1 or 2, depending on who's
Yeah.
better. They're both number 1s.
It
Really.
doesn't matter. The receivers are not the issue. Like
yeah,
that's
it's
wrong
running
as suit.
back maybe.
I know
Yeah.
their receivers are strong, but AB's gonna He's gonna get old fast.
Yeah, in like 5 years he'll be declining hard. But like for the next 5 years, like he's good. After 5 years, sure, get another guy. That's not what they need to worry about, like whatsoever.
Well, anyways, predictions: Steelers versus Saints. What do you guys think?
It's gonna be a high scoring game.
I can see it being low scoring though because those defenses are sneaky good.
They go 30-27
Saints defense
Saints.
is good since when?
30-27
serious?
Saints.
No, they're not good.
They're bad against the pass, but they're not overall that great.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're yeah, that's what. Well, they're okay. They're okay, but up against the pass, they're bad.
Yeah, they're like middle pack. They're not good. They're not bad.
It'll be 21-17
Who?
Steelers.
Ooh, that's a bold one.
I think so.
Tim, what do you think?
Didn't he
I
say?
already said 30-27 Steelers or Saints.
Okay. Mine's Saints 34-28. How about the Patriots versus Bills?
Game of the week.
30-12 Patriots.
30-12. Wow.
The Bills can't score.
Yeah, but it's a divisional game.
So what? The Patriots, they're past that. Usually they'll lose those like divisional games when they already have like home field and everything wrapped up and like, just kind of coasting. But now it's like they're kind of playing to maybe try and move up so that they're not playing in the first week of the playoffs. I mean, they're a game down to the
Bills
Texans right now.
Want to try to hinder the chances of Patriots going to another Super
Of course
Bowl?
they want to, but just because you want to doesn't mean you will or you're good enough.
Well, who do you got? Garrett?
I already. Oh my gosh.
I think the Patriots come out pissed as shit and just unload on the Buffalo.
Yeah.
And it'll be like
the Buffalo is just like their younger brother. Maybe the Jets. I don't know.
it'll be, I say 42-14.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's not gonna be close. It's gonna be.
I'm gonna make a dark horse prediction right here. Bills
Patriots
20.
by 20.
No, Bills 27-24.
Bills are not scoring 27. I don't have the Bills scored 27 once this year. That game against the
Probably
Vikings,
not, but I'm calling
when
a
they
dark
shut out
horse
the
game, dude.
Vikings. What was the score of the Vikings game? I thought they scored like 20. Maybe they only scored like 24. But
No, that was 41-17.
I told you I'm making a real dark horse
the
prediction.
Vikings game? What? No. I'm talking about the Bills.
Oh.
I don't think the Bills have scored 30 this year. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to the last game now. Eagles versus Rams. I know this is what Tim's been waiting for.
I mean, we all watched it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave, so Tim can just talk. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nick Foles played really well. Bad interception he had. Tried to force a little bit. Shouldn't have had that. Carson Wentz clearly has been injured all year. Hasn't been healthy. I don't think he's been healthy a single game. Foles was really doing poor in those first 2 weeks. I mean, not poor, but he wasn't playing great.
Carson Wentz is like physically hurt anymore. Like I keep saying.
Yes, he is. He literally has a fractured vertebrae, and he tore his ACL. Like this.
I thought you were talking about the ACL thing, but yeah, he has been injured because of the back situation.
They brought him back. He probably came back too early. Never let the ACL fully heal. I bet he's still injured from that. He has a back issue that they won't say when it actually happened. He's been playing hurt all year. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about Carson Wentz, but Nick Foles looked really good.
Yeah, it looked like a whole different offense.
They did.
Yeah, because he spread the ball around a bit more. I think Carson. I don't know. I think
he's the number one quarterback on the team.
Oh, I'm not even answering that. But
Tim, don't entertain him.
Not entertaining it.
I'm not entertaining that.
I think Carson Wentz. I don't know. He was just playing weird this year. Like I said, probably hurt. Just relied too much on Zach Ertz, and that's why they weren't. Or Alshon wasn't playing as well. Alshon Jeffrey, 160 yards. Like,
yeah, he showed up.
He had an awesome game. That's how he should be used. And even last year when Carson Wentz was full health, having an MVP year, he never uses Jeffrey like that.
It's like Carson Wentz doesn't trust Alshon Jeffrey. Foles just has this connection with him though.
Yeah, Nick Foles to Alshon, that's an all-time connection right there.
I enjoyed watching the Eagles do well on offense for once.
I mean, let's be real though. Like the Rams still had a chance to win it. I mean, they shouldn't have. That interception that Foles threw was bad. They should have gotten away with 3 points there. He tried to force it, and then at the end there, Jake Elliott missing the 51-yarder. Shouldn't have missed that. He did. This game, the Rams shouldn't have had a chance to come back at the end. It should have
the
been
Eagles
already
gave them
wrapped up.
every opportunity to come back, and they didn't. That's the main problem in this game.
Todd Gurley might be hurt. I don't know. He was on the sideline for a bit. He
came back.
only had 12 carries. I mean, he's still at 10 receptions, but
Yeah, he came back in. He was fun.
yeah, I don't know. No, I know he came back in, but I think he's been playing hurt. It seems the last couple weeks he hasn't been playing as well.
Like anything.
Yeah.
My take, I don't know. Jared Goff, you have to have him throw 50 plus times a game. You're probably not going to win. He's not that type of guy. So.
Yeah, he's a type that's going to hand it off to his running back.
Yeah, and make easy throws. And he did have easy throws. He missed Everett.
Yeah, but not as of late. Look how bad he's looked in the past 3 games.
Yeah, the past 3 games, like, they haven't looked like the Rams, but like he definitely showed that he can lead a team to a victory.
I don't think it's more like they haven't looked like the Rams. I think it's like Jared Goff hasn't looked like Jared Goff.
When they settled
everybody
for a
else
field
is doing
goal,
well. It's just him.
When they settled in the fourth quarter on that field goal, he missed Everett wide open for a touchdown. And if they would have scored that, they would have ended up winning. But he missed a wide open target. He made that last drive. They drove the field, but once they got in the red zone, it was in the fourth quarter. He was making a lot of bad passes.
Yeah, I think he's like in his own head or something right now. It's where he's just not playing like he should be, to be honest. With like what he has out there, I don't know. I'm a believer.
Maybe it's getting a little too cold for him.
I don't think he's bad, but I just don't think he's.
I think he's
like
good.
Top 10. I think he's a guy.
Yeah, I think he is.
I think a guy with the right coach. Obviously, he's shown he can play like that, but I don't think talent-wise he is.
Well, I think it'll be a different story once they get to the postseason. I think he's going to step his level of play up, and hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Last year in the playoffs, he was the worst quarterback in the playoffs for AFC and NFC.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I'm saying like I don't expect him to play as bad he's been playing now.
And it's not like the
postseason.
Rams have, especially in the playoffs, the Rams aren't going to have any home field advantage. I mean, it looked like the game is like 50% Eagles fans. I know Eagles fans travel better than most teams, but it's not like, if the game was in Philly where it's 95% Eagles fans. The Rams don't have that. There's always going to be a big percentage of fans from another team, especially if the team's good.
Yeah. But I think the run game was pretty solid on the Eagles side. Josh Adams was injured early. But,
3 rushing touchdowns. Or not for Adams, but 3 total rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Small will look good. Sproles, he brings life back into that team, like in the run game.
Yeah. When I saw Josh Adams get hurt, I was just like, oh my god, dude. That's exactly not what the Eagles need right now. It's another hit to the run game.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was close, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been a 2-possession game on that last drive, and they should have came up with 3 extra. They should have came up with 2 extra field goals if Nick Foles doesn't make that bad throw to Ertz there in the third.
I really don't think that the quarterbacks played that well in this game. I know that everybody thinks that Nick Foles is like, oh yeah, Nick Foles is the guy, like this and that. Dude didn't throw a touchdown though. Like he was out there slinging it. He was out there slinging it, but like he didn't like.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Nick Foles is that guy. Nick Foles is that guy that you put in if you want to win games, but you don't want like him to like outshine everyone.
I think it's still so weird that no one really knows exactly what Nick Foles is, because for a long time people were saying, oh, you saw him with the Eagles when he had that 27-2 year, and he went to the Rams and he was bad. But that was Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher makes everyone look bad. I still have no idea how good Nick Foles is, because last year in the playoffs he obviously played way better than he is. Because if that's how good he is, and he'd be one of the greatest ever. But
yeah, what about the beginning of the year this year?
Like, he just played okay. Exactly, it's weird. It's so weird. I would like him to see him starting on another team, even though I'd like him. But the Eagles aren't bringing him back. He makes $20 million a year.
He's too much for a backup.
Yeah, unless he decides to take way less money, which
I could see.
I don't know. He might retire. I mean, he was going to retire at the beginning or before last season until he got signed by the Eagles. So maybe he seems to be the type. I don't know.
He's gonna keep coming back as long as Carson Wentz keeps getting hurt.
Well, he's not going to be on the Eagles if he wants to make $20 million a year.
Dude, maybe he doesn't care about the money, dude. If he wants to retire now, then he don't care about the money.
I know. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not saying he does or doesn't. But if he's making $20 million, he's not going to be on the Eagles. The Eagles have too many other positions they need to fill. But let's talk about the game, I guess.
Either way,
I think the Eagles showed how to beat maybe not showed how to beat them. I think the Bears did a better job of that, but they let them
Yeah, but the
have
Bears
all
did
those
it in a different way. The Eagles
they
did
let
it
them have
offensively.
the Eagles let them have everything, in the middle or underneath. They just let them have it, and they just sold out to not have the big plays, and it ended up working.
They did really well.
Well, anyways, moving on to the playoffs and looking forward to the draft.
Ooh.
Eagles. What do you guys think for playoff chances?
Slim to none.
How about you go, Garrett?
It's slim to none.
I agree with Garrett. I think that there's just too much going on right now in the NFC. Like, there's just too many things, like some kind of fantasy dream of them making the playoffs. It would be nice to see them return, but
the Vikings look
honestly,
good right now.
I wouldn't want the Eagles to go there because it's just going to be disappointment for anybody who's cheering for them. And
I mean, you just say that with any team who has their team go to the playoffs.
but it's like for the Eagles because like they have so much wrong with their team right now, and they just need to.
I feel like I won't be disappointed then to see them go to the playoffs with this dysfunctional defense and win a game. Even if they lose, it's just like whatever. We weren't expected to do anything, so what does it matter? There's no disappointment because there's no expectation.
If my team's gonna lose in the playoffs, I would just rather them not go.
No, I think that's dumb. That's silly.
Actually, I'll change what I'm saying. If they make it to like the divisional round or the championship, then I'm okay with that. But if they make it to like wild card and then they lose out first week, it's just like, why did you even try?
Look at the. I think that's such a silly way to look at it. But anyway, like the Eagles,
in my opinion, it is because like you have a lot of teams that come in there and it's just like they have to play like better teams, and then it's like that they're not gonna win, and they do.
What if the Eagles would have said that shit last year? Like after Carson Wentz went down, they're just like, "Well, what does it matter? I mean, we're not going to win anything anyways. I mean, why even try?" And then they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, but they were doing so well. That's the thing. Like they were already.
I don't know
they
what
already
we're
had
talking about.
They already
you
had a.
always want to make the playoffs. You never want to not make the playoffs because once you're in the playoffs, you can.
Anything can happen.
Well, this is my point. Okay, if you're that broken as a team, and you're not getting anywhere, it's better to just take a draft pick.
But how do you know you're not going
anywhere? They just beat the Rams.
How do you know they're not going anywhere? They just beat the Rams.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that nothing could it couldn't happen. Like obviously, like I've seen my team go. The Packers, they went when they were in the wild card. They didn't even win the division. They won the Super Bowl, but like
the Packers scenario. Eagles won their last 2 games. They play the Texans and the Redskins. The Vikings lose one of their last 2, and then the Panthers lose one of their last 3. The Eagles would win the wild card, or not win the wild card, but take the wild card spot.
It's like a fucking fantasy dream.
How is that a dream? The Vikings lose to the Lions or Bears, then the Panthers have to.
Needs to happen.
No, there's literally 3 things that need to happen. They need to win against the Texans. The Texans and the Oilers, before they became the Texans, have never beaten the Eagles. The Texans are 0-4. The Oilers are 0-7. The Vikings have to lose to Lions or Bears.
They'll beat the Eagles this week.
Okay, well, that's not what I'm talking about yet. Vikings could easily lose to Lions or Bears. Panthers have to lose just one of their last 3. They play the Saints twice and the Falcons. And that's like
it's very possible.
Yeah, or
you said slim to none.
I still think it is slim to none because
the best scenario, Cowboys lose out, Eagles win out, they win the NFC East. That's a beautiful scenario.
I would love that. I would love that to happen, but
if the Eagles lose against one of their last 2, then the Vikings would have to go 0-2 and Panthers would have to lose 2 or 3. That's probably not going to happen, but yeah, I mean, there's a chance, but who the fuck knows?
That defense
probably
is
not.
too weak to go into the playoffs.
I mean,
they just only allowed the Rams to 23 points.
I think what the Eagles,
high-scoring offenses.
The Eagles need to do next year during draft is they need to get some secondary help and they need to
quarterback.
They need to look for a target for Wentz.
He has Jeffrey, he has Ertz. Yeah, and he has Aguilar, and he has Mike Williams coming back.
Not the receiver.
I'll say this right now. Okay, look, Golden Tate does not fit that scheme.
Hey, Golden Tate.
Golden Tate's not coming back.
Yeah, Golden Tate does not fit that scheme, so he's gone. Jeffrey's getting old, and Wentz doesn't use him properly anyways. He has Ertz, obviously. That's the only one he throws to. You have Aguilar. Aguilar's good. He can stay. But then who else? Nobody.
Mike Williams is coming back.
Oh,
deep threat.
No. You mean Mike Wallace?
Mike Wallace, yeah.
Mike Wallace sucks.
He's a free agent. He's a free agent after this year. I think he was only there for a 1-year deal. I mean, they could bring him back, but just broke
they need a deep
leg.
threat.
Mike Wallace sucks. He's out. They need another receiver.
No.
Yes, they
Not
do.
even.
They
They
need
have
someone
too
for
many other
Carson
things
Wentz
they
to throw
Yeah.
to to Source
No, they
first.
don't. There's too
No.
much other shit that's more
Yeah.
important that they need. They
Way
need
too many issues on defense.
they need like 2 or 3 offensive linemen. They need cornerbacks. They need another linebacker because Jordan Hicks is going to
Safety.
be free agent.
Okay,
Brandon
getting to it.
Graham's probably not coming back. They need just defensive help. They don't need.
Yeah, they need so
receivers.
much help. So why would you want to see this team go to the playoffs? That's my point.
Okay, well,
Anything
their
can
draft
happen.
position is going to be what? Off by 1 or 2 if they make the playoffs? I don't care about that. Like 1 or 2 positions is off because they make the playoffs. I take going to the playoffs every time.
Hey, one or two positions can prove to give you a better pick.
Okay, at that point in the draft, though, once you're picking in the middle, like it's not like you're picking number 1. It's not like you know that this is the guy you want. It's there's 16 teams picking ahead of us. Like, okay, we're just gonna take whoever's there. This is the guy we want. If he's not there, we'll take this guy. It's never a hit
Yeah.
every time. You can't guarantee a hit in the middle of the draft. Just take who's the best there. And the positions that they need help at will probably be available around there. Corners generally don't go in the top 10.
Yeah.
Or neither do linebackers unless they're
Van Der Esch,
really supposed to be
who
game
should have won
changers.
earlier.
I can see linebackers going early in this draft, though.
Maybe, but
How about the Rams? What do you guys think about them?
They're
they're overrated as hell.
I don't think they need anything though. I think they're perfectly fine. Maybe
I would
another
say the
corner.
Rams, out of every other team in the whole NFL, I think is the most solid build. They don't really need anything.
I mean, it sounds silly, but I feel like they need help on the defensive. I mean, you have Aaron Donald who's taking double and triple teams every play, and yet Sue can't do anything. Dante Fowler can't do anything. Like these guys are one-on-one almost every snap, and they're not getting anything done. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Well, I don't know. That's been as late, but like earlier in the season, it wasn't really like that.
What? Are you talking about like how dominant they were?
Yeah, they had a
That's
lot of.
because they weren't double
Well, who
teamed.
cares about earlier in the season? Now you're getting down the stretch. Now
Yeah.
teams are, really.
That's because they know to pressure Donald now, but
Yeah, but now they're figuring out their defensive scheme. Once they shut down Donald, they shut down the defense.
Aaron Donald yesterday did nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
that's 2 weeks in a row. I think the only thing they could probably look forward to is
Super Bowl.
I don't know. I still think they're going to the championship round. I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. They're not good enough yet.
I think there's always a chance. Like I said, playoffs are completely unpredictable.
I mean, the Rams are probably going to have that first week bye. I mean, unless it's a
they're
real
gonna get
collapse.
the
I mean,
bye.
they
Yeah,
play
that's
Arizona
what I don't
and San
like about
Fran
this
in their
team.
last
Like,
2.
It's not even fair.
that's like the last thing the Rams need right now. Let's say they lose like next game, they win one, and then they get their momentum back, and then they get their bye week, and then it gets shut down again, and then they lose. That's what's gonna happen, and that's why I'm
I think
saying.
it's overrated.
I think they'll be
I
fine.
think if you have a coach as good as Sean McVay, they take that time to really prepare them. Look what they did last year.
Yeah.
I
with the
hope
Bulls.
so. I would hope that you do something. Like you gotta prepare.
And they will.
Well, you guys got anything else in this game?
Well, Eagles versus Texans. What's your predictions?
Eagles by 1 billion.
There's
I see the Eagles winning.
I
Texans
think-
have an absolutely horrible offensive line. The Eagles' defensive line is one of the better ones in the league, especially as of late. I see them winning that game.
Do you think the Eagles' defense is going to be the game changer?
Yeah, because I see them being in Deshaun Watson's face the entire game.
Really?
I don't think so.
I mean, the only way I feel like Texans are going to win is if DeAndre Hopkins just wins the game for them, which he could do.
Yeah, it's gonna be Deshaun Watson airing it out to him every play.
God, how much time is? I don't know. They're bad at tackling, so I'm scared of underneath routes to him and him breaking something. That's always possible, but
And then you got Thomas.
I think the Eagles
Dual
play
threat.
with more motivation this game, like with Big Dick Nick. I feel like they ride him. And
ride that big dick.
They should.
I think they come out with like 28, 24.
I see them winning because the Texans are good, but the Texans aren't that good. They haven't been beating,
Yeah.
the best teams in the league. The Texans
No,
are
they
a good
haven't.
team, but yeah, I can see the Eagles winning this game. The Texans have, as I said, never
Well,
beaten the Eagles.
I'm going against you guys, and I'm saying the Texans are winning 34.
Of course you are. It's also in Philly, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and how
And Deshaun
fitting
Watson
to
can't
end the
fly,
season
remember?
for them. How fitting to end the season for them. Send a goodbye
I mean,
to
it
the
still
fans.
technically won't be over.
Yeah.
but
There's still a chance.
still a chance.
So you're
baby.
telling me there's still a chance?
Other than Rams?
Yeah, Rams versus Cardinals.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think we can just end it there.
Yeah.
No, we gotta get your scores.
What does it matter?
Come on, hurry up, wrap it up.
Rams are going to be like the Patriots. They're going to be pissed
30-10.
off. This loss.
I already
Yeah.
said 30-10 for Patriots.
35-17.
35-15.
I say 40-10.
Wow. Disrespectful.
I can see Jared
Yeah,
Goff
what the
getting
fuck,
real
dude?
upset about the last couple games. He's just like, dude, I need to go out there and prove something.
Jared Goff is just like if you had a robot that Sean McVay was just living vicariously through, like that's Jared Goff. But he doesn't have that good of an arm.
Well,
All right.
anyways, on that note, that's the end of the podcast. So have a good one.
Hashtag rise up.
Peace.